Hey guys, I'm back with three more new make spirits from the James E.D. Project 1927. Stay tuned. So the first one up is from InchDarnie Distillery in Fife, and they've named it Belgothry. They said their inspiration from the original history of distillation book was the Champenois still. I believe it's Champenois. Um, it's a French still later taken on by the Germans, typically used for wine. They say that it's very similar to their Loman still. So the question would be like, how much of the Loman still manufacturing and production was inspired by the Champenois still? Unfortunately, they did not get a chance to distill this in their Loman still due to maintenance issues. So what they did was they ran, the other still as a non-continuous still. They tried to run it as a batch still. Um, Also, interestingly, they chose to use vessel winter barley, right? So vessel winter barley, they say, is known for its heavier, richer flavor profile, but the style of distillation they used, they say, is gives a lighter, fruitier profile. So I'm very interested to see how this actually came out in the end. Let's see the actual stats. So yeah, they used vessel winter barley and classic brewer ale yeast. They fermented for 60 hours. All right, let's give her a go. InchDarnie Balgothry. All right, it's actually fairly pleasant, but there's definitely a bit of the dirt, like earthiness. I would say it's a fairly good blend of heavy and light qualities. Yeah, it's not nearly as intense as the previous three, I don't think. Far more pleasant. I like it. Yeah. I'm gonna say more the heavy, rich qualities, not so much light and fruity on the palate. It's all like sweet creams and sugars and syrups to me is what I'm getting here. Um, Not a ton of fruit. Well, it's not bad. I very much would like to try this one. It's aged. That'd probably be really good. Second up, we have Loch Lee. Now, Loch Lee said essentially they floor malted the barley, but instead of floor malting during the spring, they floor malted in deep winter. Let's see what the specifics are for Loch Lee. Loch Lee used homegrown laureate barley from Loch Lee Farm and Old English ale yeast. They wanted to use lager yeast, but they ended up using ale yeast. One of the things they said was that the actual activeness of the yeast during the process was kind of surprising and interesting to them. And they fermented for 90 to 168 hours. So they originally, I think, planned to do 90. They said that due to the active fermentation, some of the wort was left for 168 hours. So, Loch Lee, very popular distillery. Let's give her a go. Okay, on this, I'm getting a bit more of like uh, more of a malt, like a malty note, like what you would expect from a typical Speyside uh, whiskey. More intense than that, but it's just definitely leaning towards like the butterscotch malty. Yeah, that's also very nice. I like this a lot as well. I don't know. Not maybe because I know what to expect more. I'm not finding these ones as intense as the previous three so far. Let's give it a go. It's vegetal, very herbaceous. Yeah, maybe a little bit of like berries at the end, but for the most part, herbs and vegetables. Not as pleasant, but I feel like that's going to be a complex whiskey when it's done. I'm not sure. Who knows? And the third one is from an unknown distillery, farm distillery in the Kingdom of Fife. So you guys can, do your whiskey bingo, look at farm distilleries in Fife and see if you can figure it out. I don't know. This one was interesting because, so the first time they've floor malted, so whatever distillery it is does not normally floor malt their own barley, but they chose to floor malt it this time. One of the things they said was the original book was very good with the instructions on how to floor malt the barley and what to do in any circumstance. So they used homegrown and floor malted Golden Promise barley. They used brewer's yeast from local breweries and distiller's yeast. So this the gentleman that wrote the blurb basically said that brewer's yeast was, first of all, he found spent brewer's yeast you need substantially more than distiller's yeast. So he ended up going to 3 different farms for 6 different types of yeast, and he also used some distiller's yeast as well. So, make of that what you will. But yeah, floor malted his own barley and used a bunch of different types of yeast. And what was the distillation time? The distillation time was 96 to 120 hours distillation. All right. Okay, that smells like farmland. Yeah, I get a bit of herbs and stuff, but first and foremost, this smells like spring, like fertilizer. Like, that does not smell appetizing to me. I wonder if maybe it's like heavily peated, but I don't know. That smells intense and farmy to me. Yeah, that's too much. There is a metallic note in there. Yeah, it's just really, really, really intense. I can't even really get what the profile of the flavor is. There's a little bit of metallic, a little bit of herbaceous or vegetal. That is the least appealing of the 3, for sure. Anyway, I am actually very interested to see what all of these taste like as whiskey. I think I might like the first one the most. Second one, it's like, could sneak in there once it's aged a bit, mellows out and gets some of the qualities of the wood. Maybe that one takes it. Third one, I don't have high hopes for, but, you never know. So, anyway, that's my take on these 3. Val Guthrie, Loch Lee, and an unknown farm distillery from the Kingdom of Fife. Well, that's the show, guys. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. As always, I'm Jason. This is It Was All a Dram. Don't forget to smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below. Till next time.